Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, The Money Game with AC. In this video, I want to quickly go over Marathon Digital and Riot Blockchain, two of the main Bitcoin miners in North America. So it is really interesting to see the price action of these two stocks, given the recent price actions of Bitcoin, which they are mining. So basically, they are producing Bitcoin. So the share price action should really be kind of technically in line with Bitcoin, because the more Bitcoin goes up, the more revenues these two companies make, because they are basically producing by mining Bitcoin. So you would expect on a day, for example, like this, where Bitcoin closed around 7% or 5% on the day, if you take an average, then you would expect also these two companies to be, the stock price to be closing at least at 2.5%, okay? 50% of what Bitcoin gained. I mean, I do take into consideration, I understand that Bitcoin is a crypto, and these other stocks, which there are two different assets, and because of that, they should have the same price action and price movement. But truth of the matter is, if you're mining gold, if you're mining Bitcoin, if you're producing corn, if you're producing oil, if the price of these commodities goes up, then the price of your share price will also go up, because it means technically, if you do a good job at managing your company pretty well, you are also poised to have better benefits, better revenues. So in a case, yeah, they should follow the price of Bitcoin, but it's not the case. Like today, we were really up at a point, I think 3% from where it did open for Marathon Digital. Yeah, 4% at the time. If you go to Riot, given where we did open today, this morning, after the dip and the recovery, it should be really around 2% or 170%. Yeah, really 2%. So it didn't happen. We did close 2.5% for Riot and Marathon. We did close 18%. Now, if you do look at another asset that is a good proxy to be exposed to cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, you do have this ETF. Actually, it's really a trust. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, GBTC. Close at almost 4%, 386%. Okay, so this to me should really be something similar to what we may have here on Riot Blockchain and Marathon Digital. So the only explanation behind this to me is the manipulation. Okay, it seems like the big whales on Wall Street or someone is really trying to make a good job at preventing this to really pop. Okay, because back when these things were at the highest, 56 for Marathon Digital, Bitcoin was around what, 56, 58,000. So why in the heck are we not at least on the 40s right now, or the high 30s right now? It doesn't make sense. Same thing for Riot, back when it was at the highest here at 60, 77 or 78. Yeah, there was a lot of hype behind this, but again, based on where Bitcoin is currently sitting at and the money these miners are supposed to make, we shouldn't really be sitting at this low. So when you look at the data on the short interest, this is Marathon, for example, 15% short volume ratio, Riot 17%. These are pretty good numbers, pretty high numbers when it comes to a short volume ratio. So that to me just tells me yeah, they are doing a pretty good job at maintaining this at the lower level, because the overall sentiment on the crypto world is really bullish. There is another news I'm going to share on a separate video about the New York Stock Exchange endorsing and having an index that is going to support 50 top coins on the crypto space in the near future. I don't want to get into the ETF that is going to pop in Canada, in the US, potentially by summertime. So all of these are big news that smart money is going fully all into crypto. So maybe these guys are just kind of, keeping it low in order to accumulate as much before the next leg up. And because of that, I'm owning, shares of Marathon, Riot, and even Grayscale and other miners as SOS Limited. So because of these guys, I'm just going to hold my shares, because I definitely see this going on the uptrend, and they can't keep this low for too much longer. At a point, the buying pressure will be so high that they will have to cover, and that's how we reap, especially for those holding the bags for now. So because of that, guys, personally, I'm still holding, and those are my 2 cents.